What if I told you, every time you say, "I'll do it later," your brain thinks it's protecting you, not sabotaging you? Procrastination isn't simply laziness. In fact, lazy people don't usually feel guilty. But if you've ever stared at your work while feeling stressed for doing nothing, you're experiencing something completely different. Millions of students, creators, and professionals experience this every single day. Here's the strange part. Your brain would rather protect your emotions than help you finish your work. Because your brain isn't asking, "Can I finish this?" It's secretly asking, "Will this make me feel uncomfortable?" If the answer is yes, your brain searches for an escape. And the scary part, most of the time, you don't even notice it happening. And that's because your brain has learned one tiny trick that keeps you trapped in procrastination for years. Once you see it, you'll never look at procrastination the same way again. The trick your brain learned is surprisingly simple. It always chooses the option that gives relief right now, even if it creates bigger problems tomorrow. Notice something. You don't suddenly decide to waste an hour. It usually starts with one innocent thought. "I'll check my phone for just 1 minute." But your brain isn't chasing social media. It's chasing something much deeper. Every notification, every new video, every swipe promises a tiny reward. Your brain loves rewards it can get immediately. Unfortunately, studying, exercising, or building a business don't reward you immediately. The reward comes much later, and your brain hates waiting. Psychologists call this present bias. Your brain naturally values today's comfort more than tomorrow's success. That's why future you always seems incredibly motivated, while present you keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow." But here's what almost nobody realizes. Procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotion management problem. And once scientists discovered this, everything changed. Scientists discovered something unexpected. Most people don't procrastinate because they're lazy. They procrastinate because they're trying to avoid an uncomfortable emotion. That emotion could be fear, fear of failing, fear of making mistakes, or even fear of succeeding. Imagine opening a difficult assignment. Before you even read the first page, your brain whispers, "This is going to be hard," and in less than a second, your brain begins searching for an escape. Suddenly, cleaning your room sounds important. Checking messages feels urgent. Even staring out the window becomes strangely interesting. Your brain isn't solving the problem. It's escaping the feeling the problem creates. That's why motivation feels so unreliable. If you only work when you feel motivated, you'll spend most of your life waiting. Successful people aren't productive because they always feel motivated. They're productive because they begin before motivation arrives. Once you take the first tiny step, something amazing happens. Your brain realizes the task wasn't nearly as painful as it imagined. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. So, if motivation isn't the answer, what is? Psychologists discovered a surprisingly simple technique that can fool your brain into starting almost any task, and it takes less than 2 minutes. The technique is called the 2-minute rule. Instead of telling your brain to finish the entire task, tell it to work for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes feels safe. Your brain doesn't see it as a threat, so it stops resisting. And once you've started, something powerful happens. Starting is the hardest part. Continuing is much easier. That's because your brain prefers finishing something it has already begun. So don't wait until you feel ready. Most people never do. The people you admire aren't fearless. They simply learned to take the first step before fear disappeared. Remember, procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's your brain trying to protect you from discomfort. The problem is, your brain can't tell the difference between real danger and temporary discomfort. Every time you choose to begin anyway, you're teaching your brain that discomfort isn't something to fear. And little by little, those tiny decisions become habits. Those habits become your identity. So the next time your brain says, "I'll do it later," don't argue with it. Just promise yourself 2 minutes. That tiny decision might change your entire future. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Psydoodle for more psychology videos.